Hello.
What's happening?
How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I don't know why that uh, so I love the music of the intro, but I feel like I never actually look at the pictures that are in there. And one of our former sponsors one of our former sponsors, Small Fist in the Sky MMA Studio, is actually in our intro video, and
hmm
it just made me really happy and appreciative of all the sponsors that
hmm
always reach out to us and
hmm
want to collab with us. We appreciate y'all. We got another
Yeah.
one for you today,
Got another
but
one for
that's
you
why I'm
today.
smiling right now. It just made me happy
Yeah.
to see that. So
Yeah. That was
thank
all.
you to
That was
Paul
that was
for putting it
that was
together.
a throwback one. That was like our
It was a while ago.
third or fourth sponsor or something like that. It was a long time ago.
Yeah,
We've come a
it's a
long
while
way since
ago.
then. But we still want you to check out Small Fist in the Sky MMA Studio. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah,
need
they had great
some
services.
training and stuff, and yeah, hook you
Go
right
for it.
up. How's everything?
How's
How
your
you
week
doing?
been? I said it first.
I think I did.
My week is fine. I'm really looking forward to the weekend. I had such a good weekend last weekend that I'm looking forward to next weekend. But the week has been good. I
What was
haven't
so
had
special
any,
about last weekend?
I don't know how else to say this, but I took myself out on a date
Nice.
and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like Baltimore kind of a lot, way
Baltimore's
more
nice.
than I thought that I would.
Mhm.
It just vibes with me really, really, really well, and it
Mhm.
feels very different. I live kind of in between DC and Baltimore.
Mhm.
For I know you know that, but I'm saying to other people.
Mhm.
Um, and DC is cool. There's a lot of stuff to do, but I never want to go there.
Right.
But Baltimore, I'm like, I always want to go back. Like, I can't wait to go back to Baltimore. So it was just a really nice. It was just nice. It was
Yeah.
very nice.
I've always liked Baltimore.
Yeah,
I've always
it's
liked
good
Baltimore.
vibes.
So yeah,
My
it's
people are
it's
there. Everybody's
mhm.
chill. I just like the vibe.
Yeah.
So, and there's good stuff to do there too.
Stuff to do. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. How's
What,
your week
what
going?
um good. So I've been busy, as you know. I'm always busy, but I've been
Uh-huh.
a little extra busy this semester, really. I've been as busy as I've ever been. And
Mhm.
I had actually had a so there's something I heard a comedian say this. I can't remember who it was. Um, I think it was Jerry Seinfeld, which would be
Of
shocking to
course.
those of you who know me. But he said something like there's nothing like not doing something, right? He's like canceling plans is like doing drugs. It's
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
is such an amazing feeling. You have something to do and then you don't have it to do anymore. It's like, oh my god, it's such a relief, right? So we actually had, I direct plays at the university, and we actually had a play planned for next week. Between the end of instruction and the beginning of finals, always a few days there, but they changed the final
Mm,
schedule this week, and they took away those days between the end of instruction and the beginning of finals. So now finals instruction ends on Wednesday and finals start on Thursday, whereas previously
wow.
instructed in on Wednesday and finals started on Sunday. So we're like,
Interesting.
and we've done this a few years in a row. We'll do a couple shows on Thursday. We'll do a couple shows on Saturday night. Like, take a study break, right? You know, you're getting ready for finals.
Yeah.
Take a break. We'll do a short. It's like a 45-minute show. And all this is deliberate. All this is intentional. All this is planned way ahead. But they changed my plans at the last minute, and now I can't. Now we pretty much can't do the play because my students that are in the play have finals. So
Right.
we just can't do it. So we had to postpone, and everybody was like, "Oh, such a relief!" I'm like, "Oh my goodness, it's such a relief."
Yeah, even
We were
though I'm
looking
sure they
forward to
wanted to do
performing.
it, it's nice to not have to do it.
Yeah, we like performing. It's fun, but it's
Yeah.
such a relief to not have to do it, especially since it's not our fault.
Right,
Right? We'd be like,
exactly.
it's somebody else's
Yeah.
responsibility that we can't do it, and it's not our fault.
Right,
So everybody's like,
exactly.
oh, huge sigh of relief. So it actually made my end of semester schedule much looser than um than it was a couple of days ago. So
Mhm.
yeah. So
That's
here
good.
we are.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It's lovely. It's lovely.
Don't fill that space. I wanna challenge you. Don't fill the space.
That's really hard.
I know that. That's why I'm saying to you, don't fill the space. It's okay. It's 2 days. Didn't you say, like, 2 days?
It's yeah, kind
Don't
of
fill the
because prep.
space.
Well, prep is way more than before, especially for me as the director. I'm not going to be on stage, so for me,
Right.
prep is the whole thing. Once we come to showtime, I'm like, it's either good or it's not. It's out of my hands at this point. So yeah, okay, that's
Fight it.
that's that's good advice. Fight the desire to fill the
Mhm.
space because that is my desire. Like, okay,
Yep.
what else can I do now that I don't have to do this? But
Nothing at all.
nothing is an option.
Have a wife and have a son. That's what you have to
That's
do.
there's some good ideas.
That's
Speaking of
it.
being present for your family, today's guest is all about it.
Yeah.
He's all about it, trying to be a better family member, which is
Mhm.
amazing because he's such a good worker, right? It's amazing the
Mm.
people that are good at their jobs and their careers deliberately take time away from that to do something that is actually more important. But, especially for men, I don't know if this is true for you as well, Claire, or for women, but I know for men, there's something just extremely satisfying about doing your job at a high level. You know what I mean? It's just like really, really satisfying, really fulfilling almost. Fulfilling might be the wrong word, but really satisfying
Mm.
to do work at a high level. You know what I mean? And that's who our guest is. Work at a high level, but again, deliberately trying to focus on the other part of his life that should have probably been first the whole time. And I think that's one of the things he's trying to help other people to do as well. Um,
Well, he
doesn't need
made that his work, which
that
is
right,
that's
right,
a cheat
which is
code,
cool.
honestly.
That's really
It's a
cool.
life cheat code.
It's a cheat code. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he doesn't need much of an introduction, so let's just bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, MyRon Edmonds.
Woo!
Boom, there he is.
Woohoo!
Y'all are
What
having
up? What
so
Woo!
up? What
much
up?
fun. You guys are having way too much fun. I've never heard anybody talk about Baltimore like that before, ever in my life.
It's great. It kind of jacked me up a little bit. It's fantastic. I can't wait to go back.
You don't like
No,
Baltimore,
it
man?
is. No, I mean, it's just growing up in that area, I just don't remember anybody saying, DC, nah, let's go to Baltimore. I've never heard that.
Times have changed.
I mean, there's things to do, no doubt about it. The comparison is what
Mhm.
got me. That's it. But anyway, to each his own. Yeah.
Low key, I've never really been a huge fan of DC.
Mm.
I don't.
I feel like people big it up, and then it's like I mean, okay, we know the famous things that are there, and you grow up hearing about, you see the pictures and blah blah blah. And it's like, and I'm not saying it's not great, but I don't feel I felt my people in Baltimore.
Mm,
That's what I felt. Was just as I was walking around, I was like, "Oh, these are my folks." I didn't really necessarily feel that in DC.
I know exactly what you're saying. I do.
Yeah.
Yep. I get it. I get it. No, I really get it.
you get it
Yep.
in theory.
Say
You don't get.
less.
You don't feel it in your spirit. You get it.
No, no,
You get
no.
it
I understand.
intellectually.
No, I feel it in my spirit too. No, I know what she's saying. I don't. I mean, how free can we talk here? I'm just saying, there's a different kind of black person in
You can say
Baltimore than
anything
there
you want,
is in
homie.
DC.
You can say anything you want to say.
So one of the things that I've been struggling with a little bit, I've been in Maryland for about a year and a half now. It's almost been 2 years, Paul. Anyway,
Jeez.
is
2 years of freedom.
yes, is not feeling like the people aren't the kind of people that I want to be my community.
Mm-hmm.
The people are
Mm.
cool, but I don't feel myself in them.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go to Baltimore, I feel myself in them. It's just way more down to earth. It's way more just chill. It's way more creative. It's way more. I just I'm glad that I finally found because it's hard to find spaces where I don't want to use the word vibrational because that sounds really,
Yeah.
but it's hard to find a space where the energy's right for you, where the energy's right for you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in Baltimore last week, I was like, oh, this is the energy that I've been craving and looking for, not just since I moved here, but for years and years and years. Because before this, I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And those people were cool too, but it wasn't my energy. So I'm just like, anyway, that's that. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you.
Am I on a delay? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're on a delay.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
It might be delaying on your side, but it's not delaying for me, and I think I'm the.
Okay. Good.
It's
All right,
record.
cool,
I'm
cool.
the recording, so I'm the streamer. So
Okay.
we're good. So hey, look. So let's get let's get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I want to just talk about briefly.
Let's get some Baltimore vibes. Let's get
Yeah,
some
exactly,
Baltimore vibes.
exactly.
Some authentic. What she's saying is they felt like they're real. It's all more authentic and Baltimore.
Yes.
Okay.
One thing I appreciate about both of you, Claire and MyRon, is that you guys are both no longer working for an established organization. Instead, you're working for yourselves in some way. And I'm just really interested in how, because I'm still working for the man, as it were. I'm just really interested in sort of how you got there to the point where you felt like you were gonna, like, you quit your job and like, I'm gonna do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't lose your family and kids and wife and all that kind of stuff. You still got those responsibilities, but you felt comfortable saying, you know what, I don't need the safety net, essentially, of all the stuff, and I'm gonna do my own thing. How did you get there?
Man, shoot, I walked away from pastoring in the church because the church sucks, man. No, I'm just kidding. Yo, man, that's what people expect you to say. I mean, that's what everybody expects you to say. What you feel like. Man, funny thing is, people thought this is the only working for the church. Seventh-day Adventist Church is the only place of employment, and when you leave, people feel like you've not only left the place of employment, but you have left the faith,
Left the organization
completely. It's like this dude is lost, man. I heard he had a Sunday church. I heard he's doing this. You know, he's got an OnlyFans page now. But what I will say though is, in hindsight, I'm saying this in hindsight. In hindsight, I think it was complete and utter burnout, bro.
Oh wow.
I think that was part of what got my attention. I don't think that's the reason why I left, but I think that's what got my attention. Oh snap! I don't feel like doing this anymore. Anything, even the things that I enjoy doing, I'm just like, I'm tired of this. Like, so I was like, something is wrong. So I went on this retreat. It was like a retreat of silence, right? Bro, we couldn't even talk when we were eating together. It was crazy, man. So somebody told me about it. So we're sitting there. So we're retreat of silence, and then the leader of the group, her name is Ruth Holly Barton. She says, "It sounds really cultish, but it's not." And it was at a Catholic seminary too. So I know it's getting worse and worse. But anyway, there's all these Christian leaders, and we're there, and we're studying spiritual formation and stuff like that. And so they give you a time where you can, like, she tells you, like, go to sleep in God's presence. That's literally what she said. She based it off Elijah, when Elijah was tired, and the Lord told him, "Hey man, lay down, go to sleep, man." And so anyway, so I went and I took a nap, and I got up, and I tried to meditate and just do the whole silence thing. And bro, as clear as day, I heard the Lord was like, "Bro, you're done. Like, go on ahead, do it. Be free. Like, do it."
Had you already been thinking about it before that happened?
Yeah, well, you guys kind of know, but I would say 2020, the Great Resignation, everybody was quitting their jobs, or so, and I know why now. The reason why is people they got out of the, like, hamster wheel, and they were able to think, right? They were able to think, look at their lives,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And ask themselves, what do I want to do with my life? And so I joined the military during the pandemic.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, man, and honestly, it was just the most random thing. I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to do the military. I think I'm gonna try. If I get in, I get in. It was literally that. I mean, it wasn't like deep prayer, but as I'm saying this in hindsight, pandemic, I'm like, working with men, doing some stuff with men. That was a passion of mine. I actually did my doctoral studies in it and never really did anything with it. And so all these interests that I had, I'm doing during the pandemic because I don't have anything else to do. And then in 2023, that's kind of when God was like, when we were kind of going back to normal, and I was in the middle of a church building project, and we kind of almost had finished completing it, and blah, blah, blah. That's kind of when I got the word from the Lord, like, "Nah, bro, bounce." So I was like, "What? Is this really?" And first of all, I'm like, "How am I going to pay my bill? My kids at Adventist schools, like, subsidy, bro. The subsidy is worth to me the job." I got a friend of mine right now. I'm with the Fine Floors with her. I'm not gonna call her name, but Yo, she be like, I'm going to alumni weekend. I'm like, what you going there for? She's like, bro, I'm trying to find me a single pastor so I can get that subsidy. That's pretty much it.
Trying to marry a pastor.
She's like, I want a subsidy. She's like, we can divorce after that. So, both our kids in school, and honestly, the Lord just, in short, he was just like, yo, go and do the men's thing. Because I just thought during the pandemic, as I was doing it, I was like, yo, I think I love this more than I love this.
Yeah.
And it felt weird. And I was like, I really, really love this. But I don't know how I was going to pay my bills.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if I had left in 2021, I was definitely moonlighting, as they say in the church. But I don't really think it's moonlighting. But I'm just saying, I was definitely doing, and it kind of started growing. I was like making income too. And I was just like, if I left in 2021, that'd have been a great year to leave. But when I left, when the Lord told me to leave in 2023, which ended up being 2024, it was like one of the down years because people were starting to go back to normal, the online thing kind of, I was like, what? So anyway, that's how we ended up packing up all of our stuff, quitting both of our jobs.
I was going to ask,
and
what
just
was the
moving.
wife's response to this? But you said she quit too.
Yeah, but just so I won't sound like I'm being like a preacher, which is really exaggerated stories. You know how that is. every story, man, is always spoken in extremes. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
But she quit her job, not having another job, but she knew she didn't quit her career.
Right.
She's a dentist. She knew she was going to continue to do dentistry. I mean, she better. She better. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but she did too. So we both it was a faith move for real. It was like Shanae, we were caretaking for her father. I was like mainly the main one caretaking for her father who was aging and had prostate cancer and diabetes, a bunch of complications. And so he wanted to leave. We all just packed up. We're leaving Cleveland. We're going to Atlanta. And we just moved. And I didn't have like clarity on income. And she didn't have a job yet either. So we did. And man, the Lord blessed us with this house. And it was just like crazy how the thing happened. Yeah.
Wow. So you were obviously you remember you were one of the officiants at my wedding, my wife, you and my dad.
It was.
And obviously appreciate your contribution in that area. It was impactful for us. But I wonder when it comes to leaving a job like that, leaving a profession like that, not leaving a profession because you still do the work, right? But leaving a job like that, how much does the way people who are dependent upon you, right? How much does their reaction figure into your decision making? Like how much of it is going to be like, what's going to happen to brother, sister, so and so if I'm not around? Kind of thing. Is that part of the thinking at all?
It wasn't for me. Honestly, I was ready to go.
It's like bump the members, man. I'm out of here.
I mean, I had been there for 15 years. 15 years. That's kind of unusual. Yeah. So I was at the same church 15 years. We had just finished a building project. So I was sort of a capstone, a bookend, if you will. And it was just kind of like, yeah, I'm ready to go. They probably were ready for me to go too. So I think definitely some of them were ready for me to go for sure. There's always a group. You guys know this PKs. There's always a group that's crying when you leave, and a group that is straight throwing a 1999 New Year's Eve party when you leave. So, but I don't know. I think we were just kind of old. We were ready to go into something new, and that's how I know something shifted in me because I was the kind of guy that wanted to be a pastor and not an administrator, not a youth director, not a pastor who, like I didn't want to do any of that. I just wanted to pastor. I like the hood. I like pastoral preaching. I like, the saints. I like visitation. I like board meetings. I like vision casting. I like all of that stuff. And so when I stopped liking that, I was like, something is wrong.
Wow.
Like it's time to go.
Is there a way, this may feel like an end of the episode question, but it's coming to my head now. Is there a way for a theology major just graduating from, let's say, the seminary, is about to get their first church, who has the excitement and everything that you have when you go into your career? Is there a way to go about it so that you don't burn out? Like, how do you do this without burn? Because I'm a little surprised at how many people have not. Well, they might be burned out, but they just haven't quit. To me, pastoring and teaching are, how do you do this without killing yourself? Like, is there a way? to do it?
Yeah, I think there is, but it's either okay. So I've seen only two kind of pastors since I pastored. I've seen the ones, maybe three, but two mainly. The guy that is just lazy. He ain't doing nothing, so he ain't burnt out. You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
ain't doing And then the other guy is the guy who thinks he's going to change the world, change the church, finish the work, bring on the second coming of Christ. Or he's just very driven, ambitious, right? And just wants to do a good job. And he almost always becomes either burnt out or jaded by the church.
Mm-hmm.
I rarely ever see anybody like, and maybe you guys have seen it. It's rare that you see somebody who has like retired or who just looks back over their ministry and they're just full of joy. Their families are happy about their time of service. The kids are all, we just love that our dad was a pastor, and they all most of them end up jaded.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say no, yes, but no is because here's two things have to be true in order for a pastor not to burn out. Number one, he has to set like extreme boundaries that are not going to be socially acceptable for the church. I think some things are changing now a little bit, maybe depending on area, but generally speaking, socially acceptable for the church, right? And then the conference has to enforce and create policies and ways to support a pastor who wants to have. So that's sabbaticals, that's time off, that's supporting the family, that's all the different things that you would think, but nah, bruh. So
short answer, right? Nah, no,
it's you got to be highly disciplined with your time, and you got to be very confident in yourself. And so here's the problem. My problem was when I started off, which most preachers, they don't know who they are. They don't know themselves. And you're wanting to do such a good job that you probably want to do a good job more than you want to be, a good family person, healthy, all that stuff. That stuff comes later after you realize these people don't really care about you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're gonna die. You die. You know what I'm saying?
they gonna hire
I've
somebody
seen
else.
this literally most recently, bro. And matter of fact, me, John, and April was at this. Your brother and sister-in-law were at the funeral, bro, and we were legit at a certain funeral, and they were planning, having discussions about who the person was going to be to replace this pastor that had died
At his actual
At the
funeral.
funeral service.
Of course. So it's just like, it was probably happening before that. Once they
Right.
died, people are like, yeah, well, there's a vacancy now. So, like, who's going to get it? Like, who do you think is going to get it? That kind of thing. So at some point, you get to a point where the blinders come off and you realize, but see, here's the thing. We knew this already because we PKs.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons why I ain't cared nothing about being an administrator, because I'm like, the money don't change. I ain't tripping on the size of the church. My mindset was, put me in the right city where my wife can flourish, where my kids can flourish, because I already know it's where you live. Church is secondary, it's tertiary. Like you want to live well, and you want your spouse, she got to really live well, or else y'all gonna be screwed for the rest of your life. That's the game. We know that. You ain't making enough money.
Right.
You gotta have your real estate game gotta be tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have some dead people's money. But generally speaking, you're going to be very poor, living from check to check, unless you have your spouse who's doing well enough to augment, to support, or
like
do
if she's
better
a
than you
dentist
are.
or something, something like that.
Yo, but here's the thing. Even if she is a dentist, what happens if you move all the time?
Right.
Yo, real talk. I talked to somebody the other day, and I'm gonna leave them nameless, but they work in a conference and they did research, and their research was on, and this is relevant to the conversation. Their research was on, like, is itineracy, right? Big word for pastors moving. Is it good or is it bad? Well, come to find out, he did research in a 7-day Adventist conference and found out it's very bad, and it's very bad for the pastor's family, because pastors' wives. My mom was a lawyer, so she had a great job. So mom had a great lawyer, but she had a great job. She was a lawyer, But we moved, and she could never get like,
A good footing.
her footing.
like tenureship or
Well,
whatever it's called in the
yeah,
legal
yeah, that's
game.
what I was gonna say. Like tenureship or retirement or all that stuff.
She couldn't accrue anything.
Stability, bro. Like
Yeah.
you don't have that, and especially when you're getting up and going wherever God tells you to go, whether that be the executive committee, no shade, or you feel like you want to go someplace else. But me and Sinead was saying this the other day. Like pastoring is the only place where we over spiritualize career decisions. It just it makes no sense, bro. Anywhere else, my wife, when she's looking for different opportunities, we're like, how much they pay?
Period.
You know what
What's
I'm
the
saying? How far
benefit
is the
package
commute?
looking like?
What's the benefit package?
Yeah, how far is the commute?
Yeah.
What's the benefits package?
Yeah.
And then guess what? We're praying, saying, God, we want all of these things. A pastor, man, the executive committee makes a decision. The Lord has spoken.
Right.
And doesn't care nothing about the family,
Yeah.
the wife, the kids. I've had brothers tell me, yo, man, I tried to tell the conference that they have no school for my kids. Like, so what am I going to do? Like, my wife has this, and so I don't know how I got on that, but I'm just saying, like, you can hear. Oh, I know. I was just saying, like, when I pastored, I didn't go in blindly, which was kind of frustrating because I never wanted to be a pastor. When you're a
This was
pastor's
my
kid,
next question.
Yeah.
Why did you do this? Was my next question.
The next question.
What is wrong with you? Is really the question I want to ask. And it's
How
interesting because your personality.
Mhm.
So I don't want to say I know you. I've known of you because you were classmates with John, my older brother. You were in the Aliens for a second too,
and classmates with Paul. Well, not classmates, but we were in the same. Don't make him young.
We were on USM together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You were
and
like
during
I was like a senator or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
During that time in my life, I was being homeschooled, so I was actually at Oakwood doing stuff with y'all all the time. I feel like I was an honorary Aliens member. I knew my parts, I knew all the songs, I knew all the notes because I was at all the rehearsals because I was always with John and April. So I've known, we weren't friends, but I've known MyRon for a while. And your personality has always been this.
Yeah.
And which doesn't match with pastor personality, which you see, it doesn't match. Now, I think that makes you more effective for people like me who actually want somebody who's an actual person. But it just seems weird. Like with that personality, why is pastoring the thing that you would go into? Like, what are you thinking? What are you doing? Why?
Let me tell you why I love that question. Because it really just makes no sense whatsoever. Awesome. No, I'm saying from this perspective, like, my dad, he really went through it. Like, bro, I'm getting emotional. Shoot, man. Yo, my dad went through it. So my mom, she's like generational Adventist. My dad's like a first generation Adventist. So he came, from the hood, off the streets. He was Pentecostal when he came up, even though he said his family kept the Sabbath, whatever. But he's sort of an outsider. You know how that is. He's an outsider. He went to Oakwood, but he's an outsider. And back then, it was very much so like generational Adventist. Do I know this person? Last names, like And man, he went through it. I'm not gonna see. I gotta be careful because I can't call names, stuff like that. But I remember one time my mom made all of us. I was at Pine Forge. My brother was at Oakwood. My sister was at CC or YU now, whatever. And it was all 5 of us, right? And so it was like, yo, we're going to support your dad at a constituency meeting. You guys come home, everybody get dressed. We're going to the constituency meeting. Man, she meant well because she wanted us to be there to support him, but I also think she thought he was going to win. Because my dad was the youth director. This is all he ever wanted to do, bro. And I'm not saying this because he's my dad. Like, he legit, like, that was his thing. He was a youth ministries guy, right? All the kids loved him. The hood loved him. Like, that was his thing. And he was groomed for it by a guy by the name of Danny Davis in Allegheny East. He's kind of a legend. He kind of pushed my dad into this space. My dad took over for him when he stepped down. And so then a session comes up. You know how that is. And basically, man, we got to the session, and some of his so-called friends, man, had a backroom meeting. We get in there. My dad's name doesn't come out. There's this big debate from the floor. People are crying and saying, no, why isn't his name coming out? Whatever. Anyway, my dad doesn't get voted back in. Short story. My dad looks so humiliated. I mean, seriously, to see your father just look so crestfallen, so humiliated, so dejected.
Wow.
Because I think he always wanted to fit in, but couldn't fit in because he was so radical, rough around the edges, you know. I'm very much like him in that regard. Like that was him. And so I just saw there was a lot of that. And I mean, of course, me and we all remember that. And it was just like, and then some of the things that happened in the churches and stuff. And so, why am I a pastor, bro? Seriously, because when I went to Oakwood, I told my dad off rip. I was like, when I was a kid, I was like, Dad, I used to love Lamborghini Countaches. I don't know, I'm a cars guy. So I was like, Dad, I'm gonna buy you a Lamborghini. And when I went to Oakwood, I had no major. So I was just like all over the place. My major was like communication, psychology, pre-law, all this stuff.
Everything else.
Yeah, I was just like,
no biology? I didn't hear you say biology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too much work.
Right. That's why I changed my major. I don't want to study.
Yeah, facts. So I'm doing all of this stuff. Love to just be life of the party, hang with the cool kids, play basketball, blah, 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 blah. And I was sitting in the E.E. Cleveland class. Had no intention of doing this. And after the class, I was just under conviction, bro. Like, oh my goodness. Because even at Pine Forge, I was leading out, I was speaking, but I was like, I'm not going to be a pastor. Yeah. I'm not going to be a pastor. And I think what it really was trauma and pain speaking, saying, I don't want to go through what my dad went through. Short story, E.E. Cleveland comes to me, and because I asked him, and I'm like, yo, how do you know if you're called? He never looked people in the eye, but for one reason, he looked me in the eye. Like, he was just otherworldly, bro. That man, bro, like him and T. Marshall Kelly, man, it's been like, I don't know, man. I don't think their stuff didn't stink. I don't think so. And listen, we know better too, because we're like, but I actually feel like these men were holy, bro. Anyway. So he like looked.
I say all the time that E.E. Cleveland is standing next to Jesus right now, and I believe that wholeheartedly. He's not in the grave.
T. Marshall Kelly too. T. Marshall Kelly. I don't think
that's what I said. T. Marshall.
You said E. Cleveland.
Hey, by the way, remind me to come back to T. Marshall Kelly. Remind me to come back to his name. Okay. So anyway, so he points. He points, looks at me, and he's like, "Yo, whatever thoughts consume you the most, that's what you're supposed to do." And it was crazy because I was like more or less suppressing pastoring. And my parents did a lot of great work. We had a bunch of people live with us, like over 70 people live with us by the time when I was a kid to the time I went away to Oakwood. At some point, we were always bringing in people off the street. Crazy. Drug addicts, for real. That was like what we did. And, all my brothers and sisters are adopted. So it was like, yeah. So I remember that. And that made such a profound impact on me that I didn't know. And it was more profound than the pain. And so when he said that, I was like, yo, I guess I go change my major. Real talk. I called my dad. I was like, hey, Dad. I called my dad. I was like, yo, Dad, I thought he was going to be happy for me, bro. I was like, yo, Dad, I changed my major to theology. Yo, it was just dead silent on the other end. I think seriously. Now, he told me this afterwards. He was like, yo, he was really like, he said he was emotional. He's like, man, after all I've been through, the fact that my son would still want to do this and our families have been through, all the backstabbing and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And so, and then he's like, well, yo, what about that Lamborghini?
Not anymore.
I guess that's out the window.
Like, bro, you got to pay your time, bro. You might get it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's crazy because T. Marshall Kelly, there we go. T. Marshall Kelly, bro, he said to me at my ordination, he made a beeline to me at my ordination, just cleared the crowd out, came right up to me. He was like, yo, everything they just said to you in that ordination, service, the speech, everything. He says, they're lying.
Wow.
I love that
He
man
said,
so much.
he was like,
Wow.
look, he said, I lost all of my children to the ministry.
Wow.
This is literally what he said. He said, thank God he gave them back to me. He said, but I lost them.
Wow.
He said, I lost them. Shout out to Eric Kelly.
Wow.
But anyway, he's like, I lost all my kids to the ministry. He said, don't do a thing that they tell you to do. He said, man, put your
Wow.
family first. Wow. Think I would have listened?
Is that
Wow.
why you do what do you do
Wait,
now?
hold on. Wait.
What do you do?
Wait. We need a commercial.
Okay, fine.
We're gonna take a
I'll
quick
ask
commercial
that when we
break.
come back.
Quick commercial break. We'll be right back with that question. What do you do? What do you do?
What do you do?
Here we go. This episode of Club PK is brought to you by Jonah's Great Fish Market. And no, they don't sell whale meat.
That's kind of misleading, isn't it? Wasn't Jonah in the belly of a whale for like 3 days? You'd think a fish market named after him would specialize in whale.
Are you suggesting they should sell whale?
I'm not making a suggestion, I'm just saying the name is misleading.
Well, the Bible doesn't use the word whale in the story of Jonah. It actually says great fish. So the name is actually spot on.
Good to know. So what kinds of whale do they sell at the fish market?
Glad you asked. Are their fishes great, whether great in size, great in quality, or great in price?
See, that's also confusing. So are you saying the prices are great as in really good, or they're great as in they're large?
That's right. Get your halibut, your salmon, your tuna, and all the sea bass you can imagine.
What kinds of fish did the disciples catch? I want to try some of that. I hope they were bottom feeders. Those are the most delicious fish. Well, do they have catfish or lobster or not?
Yes, Claire, they have catfish and lobster. Shrimp and crab, too.
That's fantastic. After our trip to Birthright Soups, I've been craving some more unclean meat.
Oh, Lord.
And if you order today using our special Club PK code, you'll get any sea scavengers for half off. Just use the code UNCLEANMEAT as half off. That's WEAPOSTREEGOINGTOHELLFORTHISCOMMERCIAL at the register and get 50% off anything forbidden in the Old Testament.
That's right. Order today using our special Club PK code, and you can get any sea scavengers for half off. Just use the code unclean meat is half off. That's WEAPOSTREEGOINGTOHELLFORTHISCOMMERCIAL at the register and get 50% off anything forbidden in the Old Testament.
Jonah's Great Fish Market. Eat like a Ninevite.
We're grateful as always. Grateful to our sponsors.
My favorite part.
Unclean. Yeah, man. Shoot. They trying to get rid of it.
My favorite part of that commercial is the first half has nothing to do with the fish market. We're just talking about whale and whether or not you should sell whale. I just woo! Oh shoot.
Wow.
Only a PK. And see, there is a cynical sarcasm that every PK has that I know. That is,
you gotta survive.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on unclean meat? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But see, we do this a lot, and that's actually the point of these commercials. It started off with, and this is years and years and years in the making. That's why we have so many of them. We started off with, what if people named their companies after stuff in the Bible, but they didn't understand the Bible story? Wouldn't that be funny? So then we got all these names, I can do all things hardware. Like, that's not what the text is about. But a hardware store that you think you can do all things, that's funny. So so that kind of thing. So we do this thing with unclean meat because we think it's funny. Like, we're so good at emphasizing the thing that doesn't actually really matter that much. Like, that's not the thing. You know what I'm saying? Claire actually said right before the show, right before you got on, Claire didn't have
Still
on any
going to hell.
earrings. What'd you say?
You're still going to hell, man. I'm
Right,
sorry.
right. Well, yeah, that's
Just seeing the shrimp come across the screen was just like,
I remember when I was a kid, I felt like I wasn't allowed to say the word pork. You know what I'm saying? You ever feel like that? Like obviously we didn't eat it and it wasn't in our house, but I felt like I couldn't even refer to it. And
can't
like if
even
somebody,
refer to it.
yeah, if somebody said it in a TV show or something like that, I would skip over that part of it when I was repeating the lyrics of the song, whatever it was. You know, that's such nonsense. It's
So, and since
ridiculous.
you're bringing this up, and I remember it, the very first time I ever had pepperoni, I got mad
Because it's so good.
because it was so good. I was like, "Oh, I understand
I
now
understand why you want to eat
why
this.
people are tripping over this meat. It's delicious." I was upset. I was legitimately upset. Anyway.
Before we got on, Claire didn't have on any earrings. And she was like, I'm gonna put on my big hoops just for MyRon.
And as a result of
Just
it, we had
for
an echo.
you.
As a result, we had an echo. A perpetual echo started because of
right. As a result, the whole podcast is doomed because Claire.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
Okay. So
tell us about your work. Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do now?
So now I'm just like I'm a life coach for men, basically. So I run an organization called the Winning Circle, and I do group coaching, one-on-one coaching. I host events. That's basically it. Yeah, I'm running podcasts. I sit in this room all day. Yeah. So I mean, I honestly I love it because it's real. I'm really meeting people like outside of I don't now. People ask me, could you do this in the church?
That was my next question. Because you started it before you had left before you left your job. You know, you were still pastoring when you started.
Get sanctioned left and right. To be honest with you, if you tried to do it in the church, there'd be sanctions everywhere.
So if I did it, here's the issue. Men feel safer when they know it's not connected to the church. That's the real issue. That's the real reason.
Why
because
is that?
Because a lot of these guys are leaders or church members.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they're sharing their lives, they can't do it at church.
Yeah.
I got pastors in there, administrators, you name it, judges, lawyers, doctors. Now we have like way more non-Adventists like that are in, but yeah, I just think it couldn't happen because of that reason.
What you just said just brings up another question for me, which is, and of course there's male and female pastors, but I feel like it's still predominantly men. Are men lonely in the pastorate? Because who are y'all talking to?
Hell yeah!
Who are you sharing things with?
Yes.
So I'm like, yeah, like how do you do this? Like, honestly, that's my question. How do you do?
You're talking about the work, not what he
does
now, but the work.
Right, the work.
Job.
When you feel called, because there's the other thing, you feel called, and that's not fake. That's a real thing that you feel the Holy Spirit is telling you to do. But you're signing up for something that could destroy your family if you don't have strong boundaries, just like you said. You're signing up for a life of loneliness if you do this for the rest of your life. Like it sounds. And then how do you still get up and preach, yay, Jesus, love, yay? Like, and then like, how do you do that?
Honestly, I think it's the call. It's just people are called. It's the same thing with any career field. And that's the thing I'm finding working with men. There's a lot of people, and that's what I call my whole message is like, when and what matters. Most people are very good at compartmentalization. They have a job to do, so they go out and they do it. There's one guy in particular I can think of. He is a detective in the nation's capital, and he is assigned to Special Victims Unit, specifically children. So he's like, so he sees like the worst of humanity, like on a regular basis, but he also has his own problems,
right,
and his own struggles. So I'm saying, to me, that's just normal. It's just that in the church, there's just so much shame attached with being human. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, especially if you're a
Yeah.
pastor and pastor's kids. Oh, bro, like people had expectations for us. You know, my parents, I think they were pretty good at not pushing that on us, but whether they did that or not, there's still expectations from people
Mm-hmm.
on what a pastoral family is supposed to be like, what they're supposed to do. Like everything's supposed to be in order. Our money's supposed to be in order. The marriage is supposed to be in order. The kids supposed to be in order. Like everything is supposed to be in order. And I just not, it's just most of the time it's not. And most of these guys, honestly, is my personal opinion. This is just me saying this. I think God calls people to ministry because they have lots of problems, personally.
Mm. So to
I think
save
it's like
them.
a yeah, it's a counterbalance thing. I think it's like, and it's biblical because like you look at all the big time people in the Bible, they all had like something, like, and so it was like God's way of, you know, I think
David was
God,
messed up.
yeah, he wasn't the only one. Well, I mean, they all
Yeah, he
was.
wasn't
You're
the only
like,
one. He might be
yeah,
the most
except maybe like
popular one, but
Enoch. You know, we don't know
right,
Enoch's dirt, but you know what I'm
right.
saying? Like everybody had something. Like, yeah. And when you're a
Mm.
PK, you get to see all that too.
Right.
So
Right.
my parents' marriage did not survive ministry.
Mm.
So man, that's
Mhm.
like a whole different conversation. That's like a whole. So now I really got issues. I'm really, really seriously. I reached out to my mom the other day. I was like, yo, I want to talk to you about A, B, and C. And because that was public. It was, you know, my parents were in DC at the time. So it was public. It was embarrassing. My people know my parents, you know how it is. Everybody knows. And yeah, it was it's like now I really got issues. Now I'm just like, bro, how dark a conversation y'all want to have right now about pastors about pastors family?
I
Very dark, you know.
I feel like the people watching this show, if you've seen it before, you know that I go to the dark places immediately. These are the conversations that I itch to have
Mm,
because I also say all the time, I live in my own mind a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when I can talk about the stuff that's up here with people who get it, I love it. So
Yeah.
please go as dark as you absolutely want to go. You are not
well,
alone in this
maybe you
conversation.
should lead me. Maybe you should lead me there because I mean, but no, just know that I would say like in my life the life quake, one author calls them, like these major moments in your life. Like my parents getting divorced when I was 33 years old was, bro, that was whew.
How long had they been married?
Shoot, at that point they were married in 75, so 75, and then that was around 2009, 2010. So what's that? 25, 35 years? Something like that.
That's al that's also an
Yeah.
Yeah,
interesting
35. It's
conversation to
35.
me
35 years.
35.
too,
Yeah.
35. Yeah.
is that marriages, just because they last a long time doesn't mean they're healthy. And I think a lot of the time we assume that when people have been married for 20, 30, 40 years, we're like, "Oh man, how do you do it? What's your advice?" But like it's not actually not working for them. Like, and then eventually they get the courage, I think, to say, we got to stop. Like, this is it. And it'd be like, yo, y'all divorced after 40 years of marriage? Like, what? But really, for the people living in the marriage,
Yeah.
the number is like a chain around them, really. We see
Mm-hmm.
the number as a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in a marriage that doesn't feel good for that long, it's like something that's weighing you down. And it's like finally it's like a release. And it's interesting how the church talks about divorce too, because you're not supposed to do it. And it's like, but really though? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just question all of that stuff
we
because to me
talked
it's
to
not
a
real life.
we talked to a guy, Claire and I, last week I think it was.
I
older
think so,
older
yeah.
gentleman, won't call his name obviously, but he was kind of telling us some of his story, and he's not a PK, so he wouldn't be on the show. But he said he got married, and within a month he knew he had married the wrong person. And he's like,
Oh, oof.
I literally felt like I lived in hell for 17 years, and then finally got divorced. So he was married to the wrong person for 17 years and knew the whole time it was the wrong person. Like, what was that like? Like, what are
Yeah.
those 17 years like? And again, we celebrate milestones. They reach year 10, and everybody's like, "Yay, you made it to double digits!" And he's just like at home, like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I made it to double digits." You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like that's a real perspective on,
Yeah.
you
And then
know,
when you're a pastor,
right,
how do you
Yeah.
get out of it?
right.
Because as a pastor, you shouldn't be, quote unquote, shouldn't be getting divorced. But
That's the
don't
worst thing about this. Yeah. The hardest thing about it is you're in a profession that is First of all, I think ministry is an occupational hazard to pastors' families. It's just an occupant period. It's just not good for families. Even if your marriage is intact,
Mhm.
like you and you got how many stories we know? I mean, my sister got pregnant out of wedlock, both of them actually. So you know how that is. Like, so even if the parents are cool, like there's then what about the community, the people, how they're going to treat you? Like, it's just not easy on families. You have to really be like gutsy and super boundaries on like how do you insulate people from this toxic culture
Mm-hmm.
of
Mhm.
like people who just expect you to have it together like all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I find that there's a lot of pastors who are lonely. I think the majority of them are. My dad didn't have friends. Come to think about it, I don't know. Did your dad have friends? Like, I mean, I'm talking about friends like what I call friends. Now, my dad said he had friends,
Yeah.
but I don't think my dad had friends like I'm defining friendship. Like, you know, who did he talk to when he was going through a divorce? I don't think he
Right.
had anybody, you know.
Right.
So, because he's old school, he comes from that generation where you're not transparent, you're not vulnerable, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's like lonely, dark, like, and the only high moment, let's be honest, like the only high moment with pastoring, maybe during a wedding, you know, maybe a baby dedication, maybe, you know, like, but I mean, but the only high moment is like preaching, you know, and seeing somebody come to Christ. But it's a lot of lows, man.
Yeah. The rest
A
of the
lot of
week.
lows, man.
The rest of the
Yeah,
week.
Which
a
says
lot
to
of
me,
lows.
I wish there was a built-in, and I don't think this will ever happen in our particular religion, but I wish there was a built-in I wish there was something built into the system that took care of pastors as people. And I
Right.
just don't think that exists right now.
Wow.
Right.
What a
Whether that
novel idea.
means yeah, right. Whether that means professional training, because also, wasn't Andrew, our cousin Andrew, like 22 or 23 or something when he got his first church? I'm like, you gave this dude a church? He's little, like he's young, but that's normal. You graduate, you get a
Mm-hmm.
church.
Yeah.
But I'm like, where's the opportunity for a pastor to, you mentioned this earlier, Myron, to get to know who they are? Where is that before they start advising other people on who they are? Like how the system is, I'm like, this is crazy. When you really look at it, it's crazy and it's scary to think about. And as PKs, we see that from the moment we're born. We see it. So, of course, there's going to be some conflict, I think, when we grow up and mature and start to make our own decisions for our own lives. There's going to be some conflict because even if we believe in Christ, we don't always believe in the church
Mm.
because it's really really messed up, like messed
Mm.
up from the floor up to the point where it's like burn the whole thing down.
It's
Burn the whole
not
thing down and start
safe.
over.
It's not safe for, I know this is going to sound weird and people are going to take issue with it, but it's okay. I don't think that the church is safe, generally speaking, for anybody who has a problem,
I totally
generally
agree.
speaking.
Totally agree.
But it's even hostile to pastors and pastors' family when they have problems. There's no,
Mhm.
like, pastors have problems. There's a high standard. I get it. There's no restoration process. There's
Mhm.
no there's no personal development process. There's none of that. There's like, and this guy in his study found most pastors they're going to end up broke.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
Wow.
So that's why I had a conversation with Paul a little bit either today or yesterday about how one of the jobs that I currently have gives me a lot of freedom with my own schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that it's done for me, first of all, it's stressless. Like stressless. I'm not stressed, which is very different because I spent the last 15 years extremely stressed. And I suffer from burnout too, Myron, which is when I left my job without a job and moved to Maryland. I was like, I gotta go. So so it's very different.
Mm.
I feel, and I'm starting to feel inspired again, and I'm starting to feel creative again, which are
Oh.
two things that I forgot
Mm-hmm.
that I had in me. I completely
Mm-hmm.
forgot.
That was
They've
today.
started coming back. What'd you say, Paul?
That was this morning.
That was this morning? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that excites me about my work with Paul, and I wonder if you have this too, Myron, with your organization, is as we grow and as we continue to do our work, we get to decide what the company culture is going to be. We're in charge of that. I feel like we're not in charge of church culture.
Right.
We're just born
Mm.
into it. We have to live through it. But when
Mhm.
you have your own thing and you're being led by Christ, you get to include Christ, but also include having fun, which is two things that I wish I had always known should go together,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't always go together.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm.
get to have Christ and you also get to like practice conflict resolution, like in an actual way. So you get to have Christ and you also get to do the thing that you feel like you were born to do, but in a safe environment, because we get to be in charge of what this culture looks like. And because we're spiritual people, we're going to make sure. I haven't said this to you yet, Paul, but I have a lot of stuff
A
written down. Anyway,
manifesto, apparently.
yeah, like I've been writing like crazy lately because I feel like the Lord is just downloading stuff in me
Yeah.
because I now have the room and the
'Cause you have
capacity to
space, yeah.
hold it.
Yeah.
I didn't have it before. I really didn't. But now that I have it, I'm like, yo, when our company grows, people are going to love working with us. It's going to be dope because we get to decide what the culture is going to be like. And it's going to be a safe
Mhm.
place. And it's not going to be a place where you're not allowed to have problems. It's not going to be a place where you're not allowed to, like, bring your kids to, of course, bring your kids to work. Why don't people bring their kids to work? Like, that's your child. You should be able to bring them in, you know what I'm saying? And not make them feel like they're disturbing you or like
Mm-hmm.
make them a part of
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing at the office. And your child will then love to work because they see you
Ah.
loving to work.
Wow.
Like, to me, I'm just like, it's so exciting that we get to do that. Do you feel that you get to do that too with what you're doing?
I had a conference president tell me off rip. He was like, he gave me 3 churches. My wife is in dental school, conference administrator, I should say. Says you don't need to be babysitting these kids, so you need to figure out what to do with them.
Babysitting your own kids?
Talking about your
Yeah.
kids? Wow. Wow.
Yo, so of course, I mean, I wasn't always a perfect husband and never a perfect father, but out of the 2 of those, I was always a better father than I was on the other end. Being a husband, that's hard. It's just. I mean, it's like loving your kids. Is just. I mean,
It's really
you got to
easy.
be like.
No,
I
loving
mean,
your
you
kids is
gotta
really
be a
easy.
loser. You got to be a loser. Like on a whole nother level.
Loving my son is the easiest thing I've ever done. It's really, really easy.
Yeah,
And he's so
well, I mean,
joyful.
yeah, even when they get old, honestly, and my kids are now young adults, so they have done some things. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, it makes it really hard. But no, but yeah, it's a natural thing. But my wife and so it's just like for you to say that, it's just like that was the mindset coming in, was like get the work done.
Right.
And so there was a good side of me that was like, I'm going to be a good father. My dad was a good father. I felt like I think he was present. I think he was. Honestly, now I'm looking back at going through therapy and stuff like this, being
Therapy will
ADD,
bring up some
and
stuff.
getting all this research. I'm just like, man, I could be spinning my own childhood. I don't know. Maybe it was hell. I don't think it was. I don't think it was, but that's that's the thing. They say our memory is completely unreliable. That's what Malcolm Gladwell says. But he's just like, come on. I mean, you're just putting things together, man. But I know that for whatever reason, the ambition of wanting to do a good job is something I'm going to have no matter where I am, just because I have that insecurity of wanting to be, well, it's not insecurity. Some of it's insecurity. Some of it's like, I'm just a hyperachiever. And if you don't slow me down, I'll move too fast.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife, like, yeah, she was not happy with me, and our marriage kind of went through it. And when the sex went away, I was like, bro, I'm not gonna go out here and cheat because I'm just too ambitious. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want them I don't want them to do to me what they did to my dad. Meaning, I'm not gonna give them any reason to not see me as amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my insecurities drove me because I feel like they did my dad kind of dirty. He never was given opportunity. So even when I was pastoring, therapy helped me see this. I'm sort of reliving his experience, saying, I am going to be so good at everything. I'm going to be the best preacher. I am going to be the best administrator. I'm going to get a doctorate. I'm going to write books. I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to do everything at such a high level that all the people that tried to stop any Edmonds will not be able to stop us. Like, so that was the insecurity driving me. And it's not good for marriage, bro, because you ain't home. And if you're home, you're not home. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind is other places. You're always planning an event at church and you're looping your whole family into it. Your wife, she wants to support you. So she's there helping. And so my wife just kind of pulled away from me emotionally. And then when it's emotional, it becomes physical. So I'm like, well, I ain't going to cheat. I'm too ambitious. So, man, what's up with all? And so around that same time, like porn becomes like a
Super
thing.
accessible.
Where, yes, internet porn, just like, so, bro. It was the perfect setup for just like addiction and then just pulling away even more from my wife and blah, blah, blah. And so just after a series of events, that's kind of what led me up to where I am doing what I'm doing now. So it's like, bro, I was pretty effed up on a number of levels, you know, dealing with my parents' divorce, dealing with this church, had, you know, a really hard church situation. I need to get some help, but preachers don't get help, bro.
Right.
We don't. What do you're the man of God,
Right.
Like, you help people.
You're supposed
You
to be
don't
helping
get
people,
help.
right?
I didn't have not one mentor who ever said to me, by the way, man, I was talking with my therapist the other day, and you know what I'm saying? Or,
Right,
you know,
right.
I checked into a inpatient or outpatient, or I went on a retreat, you know, for my marriage. Bro, I never saw preachers. I saw them hosting all these things, doing all these things, but I never saw them actually like taking care of themselves ever. Like, so now I'm all about that life because I realize where I could have been, bro. If it wasn't for like a couple of major moments in my life to sort of course correct. So, yeah.
Wow. This happens every episode. We're out of time. We're like just getting into it, and we're out
Are you
of time.
serious? Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're out of time. It's been an hour.
I wanna do a club.
We haven't really
PK
talked about anything. Hey,
so
bro, I need to come
bad.
back.
That's
There's
what
a
I was
part
gonna
two.
say.
You need to come
Oh,
back.
okay, I can
Yeah,
come
we
back.
But
gotta
I
have you
also
back.
want to do an in-person club PK event, Paul, with all of our past guests.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like,
I
seriously,
would love that.
because
Well,
that
the
would be so dope to have
conversations we
all
can
of us
have.
in the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
room.
That'd be amazing.
That would be fantastic. Like, we need to figure that out. But MyRon, you do need to come back because, and I knew this was gonna happen before you even came on. But
It happens every time.
it happens every time.
It happens
But
every
this is
time. It happens
getting-
every time because we don't have an outlet. There's the only
Right.
place we get to talk with PKs about being PKs is on this show, and an hour is not enough for any human being. You could be 3 years
Yeah.
old. You have more than an hour's worth of stuff to say. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
it
it's
is what it
true.
is. You know what I'm saying? So, but we definitely need you back, man, because we want to, let's get into the dark stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's
And
get
I
into the
love to
ugly
hear that
stuff.
you're going through therapy. I want, and I'm not saying you should be this person, but I'm itching for another person in my life who's also going through therapy who I can talk to about therapy. And I don't have that because therapy is wild. Like, when you really lean into it, it's wild. And it's a lot. Therapy is a lot,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Self-discovery is, yeah.
it's crazy.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. You want to do this
So,
last thing, Paul?
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you a quick trivia question, random
And
trivia.
this is supposed to be fun. This is not serious.
Yeah, this is not serious. Everybody gets these wrong. All right, so you are into, well, you lived in Cleveland for 15 years, you said?
Yes.
You're into movies as well.
Yes.
You're into baseball?
No.
Okay, so this is two of those three things. This is baseball too, but you don't care about baseball. But it's a movie. So there's a movie that came out in the late 80s, I think it was, called Major League. Remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So here's the question. Charlie Sheen played a character, the main character in that movie. The question is, what is his character's name in that movie?
I don't get any options?
No.
No, we don't do multiple choice.
No multiple
We're college
choice.
professors. We left that behind.
College, man. Yeah.
Hey, well, listen. Are you guys want to crash out like the rest of these college professors online because I'm using ChatGPT right now?
All right, I'll give you some options.
Give me a hint.
I'll give you some options. A, Willie Mays Hayes. Willie Mays Hayes, option A. Option B, Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn. Option C, Pedro Serrano. Charlie Sheen's character name. A. Willie Mays Hayes. B. Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn. And C. Pedro Serrano. A. Willie Mays Hayes is his guess. A. Willie Mays Hayes is his guess. My sound effect ain't even gonna work. Look at that. Hold on a second. Let me get my sound effect.
We only do this trivia question for the sound effect, by the way. That's the only reason why.
It's sorry. I'm playing all the sound effects. It's the wrong one.
This is hilarious.
Here we go. This is the right effect right here. I had to find it because it's in the wrong spot. Here it is. Ah, there it is. Oh man, unfortunately that's the incorrect answer. Oh man. We have some nice party gifts for you though. If you want to. The answer is B. Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn. Willie Mays had those are all characters from that movie.
I was gonna say, where did you come up with those names that fast?
They're all in the movie. I love that movie.
Okay.
The Omar Epps played Willie Mays Hayes, and I can't remember the actor's name. The guy who was the Allstate guy for a long time, the black dude. He played Pedro Serrano.
Yeah.
He was
He
Serrano.
played the president in 24.
That's right. He was
Yeah,
the president in 24. That's right.
Ever.
Yeah, he was Serrano, and then Charlie Sheen was Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn. So yeah, I remember we were talking about that movie recently because he was like he had like the fastest fastball in the league at the time, and he was throwing like 95 miles an hour. And now if you watch baseball, everybody's throwing 95. Like
everybody's throwing 95.
Everybody's throwing 95. Like these guys are on juice, man. He did an interview actually. We gotta go, but he did an interview that I saw recently. Charlie Sheen did, and they asked him in the interview. He was on All the Smoke with those guys, and they asked him how did you get your fastball to like how did you get into shape for that movie? And he was like, well, I was a pitcher in high school and I could throw like 80. And they're like, that's pretty good for an amateur. He was like, that's not bad. So they wanted to add some speed to my fastball so it looked better on screen. So I did a bunch of steroids.
Oh my god!
Straight face, looking in the camera. He was like, oh yeah, I just did a bunch of steroids. And I believe that's
common.
And he's like, I got like 10 miles an hour on my fastball in like 6 weeks. I was like, yo, that is crazy.
Wow.
That makes lots of sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like everybody's juicing. Everybody's throwing 100 miles an hour, man. Everybody's on the juice.
We can't get banned. We're actors.
Banned from what? What are you banned us from? Who cares that it's illegal? It was 20 years ago, too. Nobody cares.
Exactly.
Or
MyRon,
40 years ago.
Thank you so much.
40 years
Thank you
ago.
so much for this amazing part one of this amazing conversation.
Yeah, we gotta go again for sure.
We look forward to part two. So thank you for giving us your time. And we always like to say thank your wife and children too, because we know what you being away from them right now means. You gave your time to us, so we appreciate it.
And we want to thank our guests, our sponsor once again, Jonah's Great Fish Market. Eat like a Ninevite, guys. Go eat like a Ninevite at Jonah's Great Fish Market.
Half off sea scavengers.
Half off all sea scavengers. Don't forget the code. Don't forget the
I got time to spell that out right now.
All right, y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.
Bye.